Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to another edition of the Total Divas Review Show. I am your host, Carmine Antonelli, and with me, as always, Glenn Fielding.
Feels nice to be back, doesn't it?
Yeah, we had to take a week off because of scheduling issues, but we're back.
2 weeks, including WrestleMania.
Well, yeah, that too. So technically, we've been going for 2 weeks. I didn't even think of that. But we're back, and we're doing a double feature this week to make up for not doing last week. So we'll be covering 2 episodes. Inhale, Exhale, and For Better or For Worse, which is like a euphemism for this show. So we'll start with Inhale, Exhale, which was the first one. This episode was dumb. It was very dumb.
What episode of the show isn't dumb? Can you explain that to me?
Surprisingly, For Better or For Worse had some pretty good moments, but we'll get to that when we get there. But this one starts with a bunch of divas at lunch or something. I think it was like Natalya, the Bellas, and Ariane. And, you know, Summer Rae and the slap of death. Natalya starts getting a nosebleed right in the middle of it. And I gotta admit, at first it wasn't that bad, but she starts being really gross about it. Like, she's like rubbing her face with like every possible part of her hand. It's like, stop doing that when people are eating, maybe.
Especially when you got blood coming out of your nose. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
How do we know we don't have, like, I don't know, AIDS or SARS or any of that crap?
Not what I was thinking, but all right. Yeah, you don't want to get AIDS on Nikki Bella's salad. But yeah, that ends quickly.
That would be bad for Cena.
Basically. Oh no. Basically, it's just a reminder of Summer Rae slapped Natalya, and it's apparently fucked with her face. Because then we just immediately cut to a different lunch session with Tamina Snuka there randomly. And now they're talking about how Nikki, this whole time, has been studying to get into real estate.
Oh,
random.
Joy.
She's gonna sell houses?
What?
The funniest thing about this is that as she was describing it, she's like, well, how hard could it be to sell houses? I sell a storyline in WWE every week.
What?
I audibly had to tell my TV.
You gotta be kidding
no,
me.
you don't. You do not sell anything. They don't even have storylines in the Divas division anymore.
No. They haven't had storylines in the Divas division in, what, 8 years now?
It's terrible.
God.
It's absolutely terrible. But once that's done, because apparently she passed her test and she's now a licensed real estate agent or whatever. Then it cuts to Natalya, who was going to that creative guy, Mark something.
It's not Jack Trenton.
No, it's not.
I lost my notes this week, but I do remember I put in my notes, it said Natalya's talking to the guy. He's not talking to the guy that owns PlayStation.
Yeah, she did not get a Sony deal or anything. But the creative guy did tell her she's going to be in the title match at TLC for the Divas Championship. And then Natalya said one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. And every week, I think Natalya couldn't possibly say anything dumber than last week, but every week she proves me wrong. Because this week she said, well, WrestleMania is kind of like our version of the Oscars, and TLC is like the Golden Globes.
What?
TLC is such a nothing... It's such a nothing pay-per-view. And she called it the Golden Globes? Like, I'm not too familiar with the hierarchy of award shows.
No, me neither.
But I can guarantee.
You want to assume that Golden Globes is maybe like, I don't know, number 2? Possibly.
Probably.
So it'd be about the equivalent of a SummerSlam or a Royal Rumble or something like that?
Yeah. Not TLC. TLC is like at the bottom of the list. Like, that's terrible.
It's still higher than Battleground.
Well, yeah, anything's better than Battleground. It's just like the Golden Globes is TLC. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Natalia's living in a complete fantasy world. But basically, she gets a title match at TLC. And then we go back to Nikki in real estate because she's about to show a house. And they run through the entirety of her showing the house. She kind of sucked at it, not gonna lie. I think at one point she said, because it was like a waterfront property, and so like she was like, the best thing about the view here is you'll never lose it. Doesn't that go without saying? Are houses expected to just get up and leave? Does anyone ever lose their view?
I'm willing to bet half the people who live there probably go bankrupt.
Yeah, like that's what. It's just like I don't understand that line. And then she's showing them like the closet, and it's like the best part is you can get changed in here and then look out and see water. Like there's so many better ways you could word any of this. And then the potential buyers leave and she closes the door and she's like, I think that went well. It's like, all right, I bet you do. And I think like right before the people got there, she was on the phone with John and she's like, oh, I love this house, it's great. Doesn't seem important. Turns out it'll be important later.
Turns out Nikki did have a buyer for that house, but it wasn't those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get there later, but just know it was the stupidest twist of all time. I actually got sick.
That was almost below Vince Russo level of swerve.
Fucking terrible, but we'll get there later. Next thing is Trinity. I actually put down Naomi. I don't know why.
Wow.
Usually I put down their real names. So Trinity was at a dance practice or whatever. It turns out she's rehearsing for her music video shoot for her song that she recorded, because that was a thing apparently. Can I just say, why has every diva recorded a song lately? Ariane had that stupid Chingle Chingle one, and now Trinity made a dance song. Is this a thing now that divas do? Why not wrestle?
I don't know. I mean,
they spent this time writing and recording songs when you could be getting better
it's because
at your job.
It's because Chris Jericho did it. That's why.
Chris Jericho
Everybody wants
song?
to be Chris. Chris Jericho owns a freaking band. Seriously? Are you kidding? What world do you live in?
I just totally blanked out. I thought you just meant like one song because that's what they've been doing, and I'm like, wait a minute. But yeah, Fozzie's a thing. I just had a dumb moment.
Everybody wants to be Chris Jericho. That's why.
Yeah, it's like why every guy wrestler wants to be an actor. It's because of The Rock. Or why every wrestler wants to get into MMA. It's because of Brock Lesnar. One person does it, succeeds at it. Oh, I can do it too.
Why does everyone want to be a matador? Because Los Matadores do it.
You know, I'm not even going to comment on it. So yeah, that happened. What the fuck? Okay, so in my notes I have Trinity at dance practice, whatever. Then Nikki and John is the only thing I have in my notes, and then it goes to the next thing. I apparently didn't care much about this segment, so I have no idea what happened here.
I barely remember it either.
I think it was... No, that was later. I have no fucking clue what happened here. So apparently there was something where Nikki and John were in the same room. Whatever. Then it goes to Trinity.
Is this the one where they're on the roof and John gets a phone call?
That is what it is.
That's what it was.
Yep. So they were on
John
the roof.
Cena gets a phone call in the middle of a conversation between him and Nikki. John answers the phone and says, "Hey Sarah, what's going on? How can I help you?" He's like, Nikki starts getting all fucking jealous and shit.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he never picks up a phone call when we're talking. Really, never, ever. I find that hard to believe. He's John. He's John fucking Cena.
He's done that already on the show.
Yeah, actually. He's John Cena. I'm sure he gets business calls. He's like, hold on, gotta take this. I'm John fucking Cena. Oh well. So yeah, that happened. Then it goes to Trinity and John Uso, going to Sandra's house, the seamstress, first thing I put in my notes is she doesn't just live backstage in that little corner. She actually has a house. But surprise, surprise, it's filled with seamstress stuff. Like, it's just outfits everywhere.
So she's not the black female Mick Foley, then?
I guess not, which is slightly disappointing. Basically, Trinity was having Sandra make this rhinestone outfit for her music video. And it was only half done because, I don't know, you need something for TV. So, Trinity says, screw it, I'll do it myself. Sandra says, it's probably not a good idea. Trinity doesn't listen. So they just leave and take the outfit and decide they're going to do it themselves.
And somehow she pulled it off.
Yeah, that's the weirdest part.
They didn't show how she pulled it off. They just show her pulling it off.
Yeah. She had a couple of uncles there, but it's like, are they that good at rhinestoning?
What do these guys know? I mean, what?
I guess they're experts on
any of this shit. I mean,
something.
Really?
So then it goes to another segment with Nikki and John Cena, where Cena's on his laptop, and as soon as Nikki walks in, he closes it. And he's like, "Oh, what are you doing? Porn? Yeah. Okay, whatever." So then Nikki starts trying out business outfits, and Cena's not paying any attention. Actually, kind of funny. Because there's literally a point where she's trying to get his attention, and she's wearing, like, half of an outfit, and it's all busted open. And Cena's like, oh, yeah, it looks good. And he's on his phone.
You could just sit there watching it, just praying that she'll take her top off for him.
And he's just on his phone in front of his laptop, just like, oh, yeah, it's great. Not even looking. So, yeah, she gets mad. That happened. See what I mean when I said this episode sucked?
Yeah.
So then it cuts to Natalia at the doctor. That's all I have in my notes. Oh, that's when she... her nose is fucked up, and she needs surgery to fix it.
Supposedly.
Yeah. And she doesn't want to take the surgery, because then she'd have to have 6 months off, which would invade on her championship match at TLC... So she doesn't want to do it, blah, blah, blah.
And she starts complaining, if I go away again, I may never get this chance again. People are going to forget about me.
Yeah, I had something to say about that. There's like 4 divas in the entire division at this point.
Well, actually, from what I read, for the first time in years, it's actually up to a double digit. Wow. Now that Paige is on the roster.
Wow.
Actually, no, there's a hell of a lot more than that. There's like 14. Including Paige.
But, like, half of them don't even count.
Yeah. Like Eva Marie, for example.
Yeah, Eva Marie, Rosa Mendez. They don't count. But if you're, let's say, Natalia in the Divas division at this point in time, and you leave for 6 months, you come back, no one's going to forget who you are just by default. It's like, oh, there's the other diva. Wonder where she's been. Don't really care. She's back. Whatever. It's not detrimental to your fucking career.
I've been pissing during your match for the past 6 months anyway, so I didn't even know you were gone.
So yeah, that happened. Then they're at Trinity's music video shoot, and every possible thing that could go wrong went wrong. First, the outfit breaks. Then the cops show up.
That was great.
It's like,
how do you not get a permit before you do this stuff?
Turns out
I thought these guys are professional. Why?
No, it turns out they had the permit. The cops just didn't know they had the permit, so they showed up assuming they didn't have the permit. It was the stupidest. And then freaking, what was it? At one point, I think
cop was a paid actor too.
Oh yeah. Like, just every possible fucking thing goes wrong. But of course, with the power of fuck all, they pull through and they still get the music video done. Whatever.
Yay! Nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly. So then they're at this no hate thing, which is, I guess, some gay lesbian rights thing, right? That's
I
what I
want
got
to say it's like some kind of anti-bullying or something like that, but
I
there could be a little bit of both. I heard a lot of stuff about homosexuality in it, so
I
guess that's what it was.
And then I know they showed Darren Young there.
Ironically.
Yeah. But the one good thing about it, for like the few seconds that it was on TV, all the divas had their mouths taped shut.
Yeah.
It was glorious.
Hallelujah.
But then, of course, they start talking. And Eva is planting all these plot points in Nikki's head that John Cena might be cheating on her because it happened to Eva once. Yeah, great.
Yay.
I just love that. This one time, a similar thing happened to me, so it's probably happening to you. Good job. Thanks. Of course it was Eva Marie to do that. Fucking bitch. Then it cuts to a match between Natalya and Summer Rae. Oh, my notes fucked up when I typed in Summer Rae's name.
Sumner Rae.
It says Sammy Rae.
Sammy Rae?
Fucking autocorrect, man, is great. So Natalya's talking to Sammy and says, just don't go near my face. But she doesn't. Here's the thing about Natalya. She's so, like, I don't know, prideful in this situation that she refuses to actually say, my nose is screwed up, stay away from my face. She just says, stay away from my face. And to Summer Rae's credit, it just sounds like she's saying, I don't trust you. You're probably going to break my face if you go near my face, so just don't touch my face. Instead of saying, I have a medical thing, please stay away from my face. That would have went so much better. But of course she didn't say that, so Summer Rae purposely attacks her face.
Great job, Natalya. That's on you.
I guess to prove, like, I can be safe, see? I'm doing all this shit to your face and nothing's going wrong. Turns out it did go wrong because there was already something wrong. So you can only blame yourself, Natalya. That happened, and that was it. And then she gets out from the match and she starts crying or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because Summer Rae kicked her in the face and apparently
repeatedly
messed it up a little bit. Maybe.
They didn't clarify very much, so I'm not really sure what happened. But her face was fucked up again. I don't know. So then, this is where it all goes downhill. Because Nikki Bella gets so suspicious about Cena that she calls Brie and says, basically, help me spy on him. Because he says he's going to the gym. She doesn't believe him. And so the Bellas go and spy on the gym to make sure he's there. On the way there, they prove that they're idiots by talking about chocolate. Bonbons. Or bomb? Bonbons? Bin? They come up with every stupid thing. They're arguing about this chocolate for like a whole minute. And I was befuddled that happened.
Yay, chocolate. I don't fucking care. It's chocolate.
It was like they just took up a whole minute of TV time arguing about a chocolate.
Why?
On the way to find out if your boyfriend is cheating on you.
Because apparently there's a direct correlation between the two.
Is there?
No, there's not. They think there is.
Sure there just
no, they're not.
It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. So they get to the gym. John's car isn't there. So they call him. He says he's there. They've proven he's not. So Nikki starts crying in her car.
He probably parked... How do you know he didn't park 2 blocks away?
True. But, you know.
Come on.
That would make it so that they have no reason to confront him later for good TV moments. Whatever. So then Nikki confronts John. And John had a very roundabout way of arguing with Nikki that I found funny. Because she's like, hey, what were you doing? You weren't at the gym. Blah, blah, blah. John, instead of saying, how do you know, whatever, he's like, why were you stalking me? What happened to trust? Blah, 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 blah.
'Cause I'm a psycho bitch, and that's what I fucking do.
So that doesn't last long before Nikki walks out. And it goes to Natalia and TJ in the car arguing about whether or not Natalia should get the nose surgery. She basically says, fuck it, I'm not doing it. It's fine. I don't care. She has a point. It's not that big of a deal. Because what is honestly the worst that could happen? She gets a bloody nose during the match? Is that it?
No, I mean, unless she wants to have, I don't know, unless it gets permanently broken and she has breathing problems the rest of her life, and that could end up screwing up her career a little bit.
Yeah, but AJ is not Summer Rae, so if she tells AJ, please stay away from my face, I'm sure AJ will stay away from her face. So she had some points, but it's such.
I mean, here's another thing. This is not, the moves in the ring aren't they are kind of real, but they're not entirely real. Yeah. Like if you get kicked in the face, you're not really getting kicked in the face. You're just like getting bumped, and you have to sell the fact that you're getting kicked in the face.
Yeah.
Like all they have to do is make sure that she doesn't land on her face, and that's it. I don't think AJ does any moves where her opponents land flat first in their face. Right?
Right. I don't think so.
So
there really wasn't much.
It's not that hard. I mean, if half these guys can work hundreds of matches a year on nagging injuries, she can do it too.
Yeah, especially with something.
Especially with like, I mean, so you go talk to like the Undertaker when he was still wrestling full time. He was wrestling with an aggravated shoulder, an aggravated back, while he was still carrying the world heavyweight title. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
If he can do it, you could probably do it too.
Yeah.
Not to mention he's like 20 years older than you too.
Yeah. So. And besides, did she even ever get the surgery? Has there been a 6-month period? Like, has she actually been off TV this whole time?
No.
And I haven't noticed.
No.
So I don't think she ever even got the surgery after the title match.
If it even was a legit problem.
Yeah. Good job there, TV people.
It's all production work.
Yeah.
Just to make us look like idiots. That's best I've got.
Probably.
Because you gotta believe the slap from Summer Rae wasn't real. Summer and Rae and Natalia probably don't hate each other in real life. So this is all just script for this show.
Smoke and mirrors.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
And here's the thing. We'll get into this later, but they don't even fucking talk about it in the next episode.
Yeah.
At all.
It just
goes away. It's gone.
The issue is not an issue anymore.
What the fuck?
Because, But the next thing is Nikki and John once again confronting each other.
Yeah.
So Nikki's about to show a house. I think the same house. And she's waiting for the potential buyer to show up. And here comes Cena. And she's like, what are you doing here? You need to leave. I'm about to sell this house, or try to sell this house. And the fucking commercial break here killed me. Because he goes, I don't know how to say this. I wasn't at the gym, as you know. I went to see another woman. Commercial. Fuck you. Total divas. But they come back from the commercial. Basically, he bought the house for Nikki.
LOL, Cena wins.
Cena does win. It was such a stupid plot twist. I actually felt sick. And the worst part is, he's gonna move in with her. So they're gonna try again to live together. When that went so well the first time.
So he's getting rid of that big fancy mansion then. Isn't that what he said? What the
I just have no idea why. Why did any of this happen. So that happened.
Yeah.
Then it cuts to Trinity backstage with John Uso and Brodus Clay, and then the Bellas show up. And basically everyone's listening to Trinity's song saying, "This is the best thing ever." Yeah. Turns out Brodus actually knows people in the music industry, or I think he does, that's what he said. And he wants to show Trinity's song to a bunch of people. Great. I don't know what that would possibly do for her. So all of a sudden she's going to be working with Snoop Dogg or something? I don't know. Because then it just cuts to Natalya stressing out about the title match. She has the title match. Everything goes fine. Yay.
Supposedly in an upcoming episode, somebody's supposed to be working with that rapper called Trey Songz.
Oh, yeah, I think the Bellas are going to be in a music video with him.
That's right.
So.
Yeah, he gets to be on this crappy show. Congratulations. We're going to be talking about you next week.
It's the worst kind of publicity.
Yes.
Now, I was watching this on my DVR, and at that point, the episode cut out. Like, halfway through the title match. But apparently after that, some music person walks up to Trinity and is like, "Hey, I like your song, whatever, whatever." That was the end of the episode. That's really all that happened. It was a terrible, terrible episode.
The next one was actually fairly decent.
This one had some good moments. Do you want to cover the notes for this one?
If you want to send them to me.
Oh, you don't have them?
No.
All right.
I only had notes for the first one, and I lost them, and then I was figuring, okay, hopefully you got the one for the second.
Oh, all right then. I do, so we're good. It starts with Natalya and Trinity at a bar or something, talking about how, hey, coincidentally, we're both in similar situations where we don't spend enough time with our fiance/husband, whatever. That was it. That's all they said. Eventful segment. Unfortunately, this episode revolves around two people, for the most part. Well, three. Trinity, Natalya, and Eva Marie. So that's not fun. Because the next segment is Eva Marie in her apartment complaining about how her stomach hurts and is apparently swollen or bloated or something. So Jonathan decides, well, let's go to a doctor.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's probably smart. So the next segment is Natalya, Nikki Bella, and Ariane at lunch. And Bree shows up at one point. Basically, the whole thing revolves around the fact that Natalya doesn't know what doggy style is. Because she's just...
What?
Every episode,
what?
Natalya is portrayed as more and more of a sheltered person. She's like, what, 30-something?
She's married?
And she doesn't know what this is?
I fucking know what that is, and she doesn't?
Fucking, there are kids that know what that is, unfortunately.
God!
So, everyone harasses her about that. Bree, for a second, almost demonstrates it. And so then she leaves, and then everything takes a weird fucking turn once Natalya leaves and Daniel Bryan shows up. Because then, Nikki Bella just starts talking about how one time her dogs got stuck together while having sex. Just a weird conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That was Brian's reaction. He's like, all right, you people are weird. So then it cuts to Trinity and John Uso and how they've decided to get married, finally.
Yay!
They're going to take 3 days off, go to Hawaii, get married. Small wedding. And then Trinity says, invite your dad, Rikishi. The one person everyone knows. Apparently, Rikishi and John Uso are not on the same page. Don't know what that means, but apparently they're not on great terms.
Apparently.
We don't get too much in depth to that because this show sucks. Because then it cuts to Eva Marie in the hospital. The thing that was wrong with her was gross. She had a cyst. The cyst ruptured.
In her ovary or whatever.
And she's just filled with fluid. Wonderful image. Hope no one eats lunch while they're watching the show.
I was eating.
'Cause
I was eating dinner actually.
I was actually eating my lunch when I was watching this episode, so more reasons to hate Eva Marie, people. But the good thing is she'll be off Raw for a couple weeks. Unfortunately, that time's already passed, so she's back by now. But it's good to know that she had been gone. I didn't even notice.
I thought they fired her. Nope, guess not. She was at WrestleMania.
Oh, I wish they fired her. So now they're backstage at Old School Raw, and Uso talks to Rikishi, inviting him to the wedding.
Another example of how the timeline on this show is so screwed up.
Yeah.
Because the last episode from like 3 weeks ago was the one with Daniel Bryan getting his concussion in the steel cage match, and that was the week after, or like a week or two after the Old School Raw.
It was in January.
It was in January.
And then Old School Raw was before TLC, right?
No, Old School Raw was the first Monday of January. The first one.
Oh. God damn, this show jumps around so fucking much.
I know. It's ridiculous.
So they went from deep into January to before TLC in the last episode to now it's the first week of January. Holy shit.
What?
Oh my god. So, Uso invites Rikishi to the wedding. He says, yeah, I'll go. Basically, they were looking for approval because I guess Trinity was nervous that they wouldn't accept her for racism reasons? That's what it sounded like.
Racism reasons?
Because she's like, well, I'm nervous because they're Samoan and I'm not.
So fucking what?
Yeah, I don't think a Samoan family would be too judgmental.
I mean, not compared to, like, I don't know, a southern white family, maybe.
No.
Not going to get into that. Not really going to get into that, but...
But the whole thing went fine. Rikishi's like, yeah, I'll be at the wedding, whatever. He obviously wasn't as lackluster about it as I'm being, but you know what I mean. In my notes, it goes from that to more Eva Marie uterus shit. Because her uterus is apparently deformed or misshapen or something. Leave it to Eva Marie to have a misshapen uterus. I have no words for that.
How did that even happen? Do they even say?
Nope.
Or do they even really want to tell us?
I don't want to know.
More like we don't even really want to know.
Good. I don't care.
Great.
Then it cuts to the Divas at the gym or something. And Ariane suggests that Natalia has a sex therapy session with her sex therapist, Dr. Milrod.
Oh, God, this lady again.
For anyone who remembers,
it's official. She's an official character on the show now.
And I love it.
Yes.
So, for anyone who remembers, there was an episode, I think in season 1 at some point, and Ariane and Vinny went to see this lady and suggested that Ariane gets a vibrator and everyone just masturbate everywhere.
Do you even masturbate? You need to get a vibrator.
I fucking love this lady. So they call her, because Ariane has her on speed dial.
Speed dial. Okay.
And Natalia sets up a session where Milrod's going to come to her house and her and TJ are going to have a sex therapy session. Brilliant! So, from that, we go to Eva Marie. And she gets a phone call in the car from the doctor with bad news that they don't explain at the time. Later, it goes to her and Jonathan talking. Turns out Eva Marie possibly might not be able to have kids in the future. I found that as good news.
Yes.
Jonathan, not so much, because apparently he wants kids. And for some reason or another...
Well, guess what, pal? You picked the wrong fucking person.
This is the sign of all signs that you should not be with Eva Marie. But whatever.
It's only one, too.
Yeah. Then Jonathan cuts like a Michael McGillicuddy Genesis promo for anyone who remembers that. And he's just like, but this isn't today. Today is this. Today is you right now. Fixing this. Like, he's just all over the place. About, like, we're worrying about this now, not kids later. That's what he was trying to say.
Brilliant.
But it just came out like the biggest mess of words ever. And it was brilliant. So,
Can I just say that as this season has gone on, I actually like Jonathan a little bit more than when they first introduced him.
yeah.
Because he actually has a little more common sense than she does.
It's a balancing thing.
Yeah.
He's actually, what's the word? Human?
He actually seems okay in my book.
Yeah.
Except the fact that he's married to a fucking idiot. And
Yeah,
that
except
brings
for
him
that
down
part.
a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. Keelan put an article in Wrestling Pundit that describes a little bit about her ovarian cyst or whatever it is.
Really?
It was quoted on WrestlingPundit.com. It was revealed on last night's or Sunday's Total Divas that Eva Marie was suffering from an ovarian cyst that burst back in January. It was known that she had some kind of medical problem at the time, but nobody knew what that is until now. So basically, I think what he's saying is that they did not start talking about this. They didn't tell anyone about this until they did it on the show.
What?
That's what Keelan will have to confirm that when he listens to this, but yeah, apparently they decided not to talk about it until they aired it on this show.
Holy crap.
Yeah. I mean, why?
This show gets dumber every week.
Exactly.
Unfucking believable. I'd have no words for that.
I mean, why
This show
why
is
would you
insane.
air your disgusting personal laundry like that on? I mean, okay, this is a personal medical problem. Okay, why would you even talk about it on reality TV? Unless they actually want to try and make people vomit in their cereal every freaking morning. I mean,
Yeah.
why?
I don't like this show, if that hasn't been made clear yet. And I really don't like Eva Marie, if that hasn't been made clear yet.
We're not done with her yet.
This does not help. But anyway, the next segment is Trinity and the Usos and all their family in Hawaii. And no one knows where Rikishi is, because I guess everyone has shown up already, except for him. That segment doesn't last long, because fuck off. Because then we go back to Eva Marie not talking to her mom because she's scared to talk to her mom. So Jonathan takes her phone, calls her mom, and says, talk to your daughter. First thing I noticed, Eva's mom, bit of a bitch.
Yeah.
Because she calls and she's like, oh, I'm not doing great. And the mom says, oh, neither are we. Should have thought about that before you married a fucking gherkin. So it's like, oh, lady, you're the worst. But, you know, that fucking ends. Because then once she tells her what actually happened, the mom's like, oh, we'll be there for you. Fucking happy bullshit. Yay! So then it cuts to Natalia and Tyson Kidd. And their sex therapy session. This was so awkward. And I love it. Dr. Milrod needs to become the focal point of the show. Every episode, she needs to go to a different diva. Even divas that aren't usually on the show. And give them a sex therapy session.
WWE wasn't rated PG, I would love to see her as an on-screen character on Raw.
Like the new Dr. Shelby.
She would be an even better Dr. Shelby.
It'd be fantastic. But I can't blame Tyson Kidd for being kind of distant at first. Because it's so awkward. It's so weird. It's just like... Because she starts giving them a tour of their own house. And it's like, we're going to sex-proof your house? What?
What?
So she goes in every room And they start in the kitchen. It's like, this kitchen will now be the sex farm. Where Tyson Kidd's the farmer and Natty's the milkmaid. You're going to take bananas and like...
What?
And then they go to the office. The office will be known for rear entry. Fantastic.
What was the last one?
Well, the next one was the hallway. This one, the hallway where the postman always comes twice.
What the fuck? He always comes twice?
Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god. And then
That
I think
made
the last
no
one.
sense.
The last one was their dining room, which is like right in front of their front door. And she's like, you're gonna have sex right here with the door open for the world to see. And Natalia's just like, no, we're not doing that one. Maybe the other one.
Yeah, so our neighbors and their neighbors' kids and their dogs can all look at us while we do it.
Oh, and it was at this point that Milrod became the best part of the show ever, even though it's only her second appearance. Oh, that hallway one with the postman really got me. Unfortunately, we go back to Hawaii. I say unfortunately because even though I actually enjoyed these segments with Trinity and Uso, that Milrod thing was so much better that I was upset to see it end. But they come to the conclusion that Rikishi still isn't there and isn't going to show up because he had a last-minute appearance to go to. Now, for anyone who's been following Wrestling Pundit, which you should...
I'm on it right now.
You'd see there was a tweet from Rikishi after this episode aired.
I'm looking for it unless you got it written down.
I don't have it written down, but I'm going to paraphrase it until you find it. Basically, don't believe everything you see on TV. So, obviously, there was some made-up aspect of, obviously, with this fucking show, but there was obviously, not everything there was true, so, you know, Rikishi's not a douchebag for ditching his son's wedding.
Headline reads, did Rikishi really miss his son's wedding? Rikishi noted on Twitter to not take him missing his son's wedding on Total Divas seriously. Junior Fatu at The Real Rikishi. Sometimes the storylines of reality TV mirror those of wrestling. Hashtag all for entertainment at Total Diva, at Territory League, at KnoxX Pro. Remember, there was very little real in reality TV. No fucking shit. Yeah. At Total Diva, at Territory League, and all those. At WWE Uso and all that. So basically, Rikishi's saying, this isn't the real wedding that happened. It's a recreation of it. I was actually at my son's wedding. I don't hate him. Stop bothering me about it.
Yeah. But that happened. And then Jey Uso gives like an emotional little speech about, Dad's not here, but I'm here. We're fucking twins. Been together our entire lives. It is whatever. And, of course, we cut from all these glorious moments to backstage with the Bellas, Natalya, and Ariane. Oh, this actually was a funny one. So, Natalya more or less explains what happened at the sex therapy session. And, of course, everyone starts badgering her. It's like, oh, did you fucking orgasm? Did you take it in the ass? Like, thanks.
We don't want to know that. We really don't. No.
But what she
I really don't want to
Divas,
know what happens with anyone when they have sex, okay? I really don't.
I don't either, but the next
it's
part
bad
is
enough
pretty
that
great.
I got to hear that you people are doing it. Last thing I need to know is how you're doing it.
Yeah, true. But this next part's pretty great. Because she doesn't tell the other divas this, but she tells the camera that her and Tyson Kidd did some role-playing.
And, go figure, they showed
footage
of them doing something.
So, Natalya...
This next one is stupid.
Played the role of a schoolgirl in her house, and Tyson Kidd played the role of a burglar breaking and entering And they actually showed footage of Tyson Kidd doing a creeper walk up to the window. And I lost my shit. He was in a black hoodie.
It would have been so much better if somebody called the cops on him.
He was in a black hoodie, creeper walking up to his own window.
Role playing is retarded.
Natalia's spraying like perfume on her tits. And then she fucking like in the worst acting ever. When Tyson Kidd gets in the window, she's like, "Oh, who's there?" And then they just both start laughing, and that's the end of the clip. Watching him do that creeper walk though was fucking hysterical, and I don't know why. It was just the funniest thing I'd ever seen. So then they go from backstage to Natalia having a match on Main Event or something with Oksana. And for anyone who keeps up with wrestling memes, there was that picture that circulated not too long ago of Natalia posing with the crowd, and a kid just groped her.
Yeah, I seen that one.
They showed her next to that kid, like seconds before the groping happens, but they don't show the groping, which that disappointed me. Of all the things you could have mentioned on a reality TV show, that actually real moment you didn't bring up? Fuck. And it's not like they just didn't want to go there. They were just doing sex therapy. So they had no excuse.
They have no reasons to embarrass the fans on the show. That's why.
It was a kid who felt up a diva.
So what's Natalia gonna do? What's Natalia gonna do then? Just go to the kid's house, put in a sharpshooter, and sue him? I mean, really?
Oh, have Tyson Kidd break into his house. Oh my god. So then it goes back to Hawaii and it's wedding time.
Yay.
And Trinity's dad is walking her down the aisle and he's crying. It was actually kind of funny.
I love my baby. I love my baby.
And the wedding was great and all, whatever.
Yeah.
But the highlight of it had to be when they were pronounced man and wife and they were walking away. And the people who were there start doing the Uso chant. That was awesome. Then the show teased me for a second. Well, not teased me, more like scared me. I thought we were going to end the episode on Eva Marie, because then we cut to Eva Marie and her parents show up. But not her brothers, surprisingly. That I took note of. It was only her parents. So her parents and Jonathan and her are there, and happy ending, you know. Parents are fine because John's actually doing shit that
Barry from Storage Wars is like, you know what? You're actually getting shit done, kid. Good job. I actually have a little respect for you now. Like, really? A couple weeks ago, you hated him to death, and now you're just saying, you know what? I was wrong.
Because you didn't let her die on the floor. You're great. So that happened. But then the episode, thankfully, ended in Hawaii with Trinity and Uso, and it's basically just a big, happy family get-together thing with a group hug. It actually, I think, ends on a group hug. So that was the episode. Now, do you remember the next time on clips?
No, my DVR cut off afterwards.
Ah.
No. All I remember is the thing with Trey Songz, and that's it.
Yeah, it was basically that. And, shit, there was one other thing that seemed important, and I can't remember it right now. I don't remember. I think it was something about... I don't know. It obviously wasn't that important because I completely fucking forgot about it. So, that was that.
That's why we have Google. Well, I'm using Bing. All right. All right. Following is the synopsis for the next week of Total Divas. The house sitters. Ariane throws a party and loses Natty's cat.
That's what it was.
Natty and TJ clash over money. Bree educates Sticky about food. What the fuck?
What?
Credit for this goes to WrestleZone.com, by the way.
Yep. So that was the thing I was thinking of. Ariane
Yeah,
and Vinny, of all people.
Nick Paglino is the name of the editor. I'm not sure how many of you guys follow WrestleZone.com.
Shout out.
Yeah, congratulations, you're on the show.
Even though you're probably bigger than us. But yeah, so that happened. It was Ariane and Vinny house sitting for Natalya, and they lose her fucking cat. Interested to see how they fucked that one up.
They're also reporting that Eva Marie has actually been out of action because of her ovarian cyst or whatever.
Huh.
Yeah. Supposedly this is it's not legitimate. She was at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I don't...
what. I don't
okay.
know. I don't know. Nobody cares.
Yeah, more importantly, no one cares. So, that was the double feature.
Yay.
Honestly, the highlight of both of these episodes combined was Dr. Milrod. I wish we could start a petition to have her be a consistent character. Because it's fucking hysterical every time. This lady's a genius. She needs like a Nobel Prize or something.
I want to get on Twitter and make a fake account of her. Seriously. I really want to do it.
Just constantly tweets like, hey, if you're ever fucking feeling lonely or something, just shove a banana up your ass or something like this. She's a fucking genius. The hallway where the
I'll get like Chris Benoit and TNA Creative to join in on it.
I wanted to ask you about something.
What's
on
up?
On Twitter, you said something about
Chris Benoit getting kicked off Facebook.
What the hell was that about?
It's actually not the same guy that runs that account. There's another guy who runs like a whole bunch of other fake Chris Benoit accounts on Facebook, and I was friends with a bunch of them. And then apparently his account keeps getting reported because of obscene and just flat out bad pictures. And I apparently reported something of his just for the fun of it. And I completely forgot about it, and then I went in there. Facebook sent me a notification, and then it said, Chris Benoit, we re-reviewed your report of Chris Benoit's photo, and we have decided to take the photo down, and we also have decided to shut down his account. Thank you for your report, and thank you for your support of the Facebook community standards, blah, blah, blah. That was a total accident, by the way. I don't even remember that.
Wow. Okay, then.
He still doesn't know. The guy still doesn't know it was me either.
Hope he doesn't watch this show.
Yeah, because this guy works for like a bunch of the high-profile Facebook pages on there too.
Wow.
Yeah. So, oops.
Is he like right up there with the wrestling memes guy?
Almost. He was part of this page called WWE Memes.
Wow.
They actually got a bigger reach than wrestling memes, but they're not as popular.
Huh. Well, hope he doesn't watch this show.
Nope. Hope not.
Anyway, thank you all for watching Total Divas double feature bullshit. This show, honestly, I love doing this show, but Total Divas drains me more and more every week.
Why? Yeah, I've noticed that too. What's the deal with that?
It's the same bullshit every week. Eva Marie is a subpar
Eva Marie is a
being.
Stupid bitch. Nikki Bella is a stupid psychotic bitch.
Natalia's dumb as bricks. Ariane's dumber. Trinity, Bree,
where's Vinny?
What
happened to him?
I don't want to know where Vinny is, Glenn. I don't want to know. I don't want to see Vinny, but I guess we're going to see him next week.
Really?
The house sitting.
Sweet.
I already cannot wait for like the mid-season finale so we can take a break.
Another one.
I already want a break.
You and I could go in and start reviewing Legends House then.
Oh God. Oh God.
What do you mean, oh God?
I haven't seen it though.
You haven't seen it?
I've heard it's like not great.
Really?
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't, but it looked better than this garbage.
Anything's better than this. Fucking TNA's better than this.
I don't even watch TNA anymore.
I don't either, and I'm sure it's better than this.
Hell, I haven't even watched Raw. I haven't even watched anything since WrestleMania.
I've watched Raw, but it's been a lot of evolution is a mystery bullshit. So anyway, thank you guys for watching Total Divas Review. I've been Carmine Antonelli.
I've been Glenn Fielding.
And we will see you all, hopefully, next week.
Yeah, we will. Don't worry.
Yay.
Hold on.
But,
Why?
you know.
In the back of my car, I think. In that roadside kit. Why?
Where's the shovel for the dead body?
Alright, go ahead.
Thanks.
Alright, go ahead if you want to get them.
I swear I'll get it to you next Tuesday.
My dad was asking me if I had jumper cables in my car. But apparently my neighbor's car is gone. Out. Battery.
Oh, I thought you were just going to say the car's gone. I was going to be like,
No.
I think jumper cable is going to help. That's going to solve the problem.
Good luck
But,
editing
right.
that out.